crazy fast giant steps or whatever, context. So yeah, doing all this practice on this lifelong journey that you get better and better despite the circumstances, that you're able to express yourself how you want to express yourself. The intention is there, and you're able to say what you want to say and how you want to say it. So a more open form of practicing that I spend a lot of time doing, it plays back into what I was saying at the front of everything, that like allowing yourself to explore and stretch on the instrument. But composition can happen here too, is using drones when you're practicing. For, as I said, exploration, tuning, and also developing concepts, like perhaps you want to work on intervals, so you want to work on major thirds, or you want to work on just, I don't know, sidestepping, chromatic sidestepping, different concepts. So yeah, I spend time playing with drones, and have come up sometimes with, a piece of something compositionally that I actually might want to use as well. But it's just kind of fun. I don't know. I like it. I mean, the tuning thing is so important. Practicing tuning with a tuner is visual. It's not aural. It's not us training our ears. It's reassuring when we get the green light or whatever, but ever the app or tuner might give us. But when we're practicing with drones, we're working on the muscle memory involved with playing in tune as well, so that when a chord, like an interval, say like a perfect fifth or a perfect fourth, those are really ringy intervals. When they lock into the tuning, you hear the ring, hopefully, but you also feel it. So it's getting accustomed to how it feels to play in tune is important, especially for younger players. I mean, people who have, the more experience you get, you become aware of that muscle memory and that sensation.
And I imagine that's something that's really that you have to be aware of in playing with turboprop, because you have 3 horns.
Oh yeah.
As well,
Definitely turboprop. I mean, any context. I've had the opportunity to play with the Toronto Symphony. You're playing in a pit band, whatever it is. Like, tuning is, for me, it's like really high priority. Of course, because that's part of the how we're saying what we're saying. You can say really wicked language, get that happening, but then you hold a note and it's out of tune, and
I've been there.
That.
I've definitely been there.
You don't want to detract from everything else that you're working on. So it's vital.
I'd love to hear you demonstrate some of that exploratory practice using a drone.
Sure. Cool. Let's do a F-sharp concert.
Nice. And there was a mixture of there in terms of you sort of like listening to the interval against the drone, but then also extending that interval to create a specific tonality, and then changing that tonality, and then exploring shapes as well.
Mm-hmm. It's great. Like you can spend. I mean, I can get lost in just playing with drones. It can be really
Yeah.
fun. It can be really liberating. Like just working on flow
Yeah.
and
That
yeah,
idea of
maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe it depends how your brain works. Like that, you really may want to go in with a task at hand.
right.
For that exploration, or maybe you just want to see what happens.
Right.
Where does it
With
take you?
all with the goal of clarity of expression, and being objective, but sometimes exploring, so that you're always evolving towards
Hopefully.
that goal of clarity of expression. Wow. That's a really potent idea, I think, um, because that's what we all want to do. We want to keep evolving, keep learning, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to have this conversation with you and explore your own journey. Um, if anybody is listening and you want to connect with Tara, her website is taradavidson.ca. Did I get that right?
Correct. Yes.
taradavidson.ca. And are you on social media?
I am. Somewhat reluctantly, but yes, I am. I'm Tara Davidson Saxophone.
Yeah.
Is my handle on Instagram, and
Yeah.
then Facebook. I'm on there a little bit. I spend more time looking at pictures on Instagram, honestly.
Right.
But people can reach out certainly.
Cool. Tara, it's been a pleasure chatting with you about your journey, and getting your insights on evolving as a saxophone player. I have a quick rapid fire question game I would like us to do before we wrap up here today. So it's called 3, 2, 1. And I would like you to share 3 albums that were influential for you,
Okay.
2 saxophone players, and leave our audience with 1 piece of advice.
Okay. Because you warned me, I was able to do this, because like to pick 3 albums is like, that's really tough.
Yeah.
But I decided to focus on early Tara, mid Tara,
Okay.
recent Tara. So for the early Tara, it was the first CD that I ever bought for myself, the first jazz CD that I ever bought myself, which was a Verve release. It was a compilation that they did, like compilation series, and it was the Antonio Carlos Jobim songbook. And so there's the Stan Getz on there, there's a Dizzy Gillespie on there, there's Ella, there's Oscar Peterson playing the repertoire, the compositions of Jobim. And it really, really resonated with me, like the beauty of Jobim's writing and everyone's individual voices on in that compilation. Middle Tara would be Joshua Redman Elastic Band, the first release. I've listened to that countless times. I love Joshua Redman and all the stuff that he's done, but that one was influenced for me, like a band that I focused on for years, and made me change my band to play without the bass and go keyboards, sax, and drums. So love it. Joshua Redman Elastic. And then a little later Tara would be Miguel Zenon's Ceremonial, which the beauty, I mean, I think it came out in 2004, and I think I heard it in 2005, and that was part of the trajectory for me of hearing alto differently. And even compositionally as well, it was very influential. 2 musicians, I have to say, I can't not say Merle as one of those people, because he's really helped shape the trajectory of my life and been a wonderful role model.
Nice.
And whenever I get to play with him, it's like going home again.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a spiritual thing almost, you know. And I think Joshua Redman would be the other one because, yeah, like I said, like he can do no wrong in my ears, you know. I love his writing, and he's a wicked, obviously, tenor saxophonist, but then he sounds beautiful on soprano and alto.
Yeah.
And then the one piece of advice would be, it's kind of two qualities in one general piece of advice is to stay focused on kindness and generosity of spirit as you go through this journey. And that can be as a student, show kindness towards your teachers, kindness and respect towards your teachers, and be generous with your attention towards them and what they're trying to teach you. And then as you're a student, as well, like to your peers, stay kind and supportive of one another, be generous with your time. And if you're grabbing a concept more readily than a classmate, try to help them, etc. And then of course, when we're in the scene, like stay kind to your colleagues and your bandmates, and and honestly, even the audience. Sometimes that's we got to remember, like, thank you for listening, right? Yeah, kindness and generosity. I don't think those could
you can't get enough. You can't get enough of that. Well, Tara, it's been a real pleasure chatting with you, and I hope it's not going to be the last time that we have conversations like this. It's been amazing. If you want to connect with Tara, her website is taradavidson.ca, and she's also on Instagram. What's your handle, Tara?
Tara Davidson Saxophone.
Amazing. It's been a real pleasure again chatting with you. And I hope that this episode, this conversation was both inspiring and it empowered you to keep taking ground in your individual, professional, and creative journeys. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.